Right, welcome back, everybody, for episode 25. We have a special guest here today, Kris Ramotar, with us. How's it going today, Kris?
Hey guys, I'm good, Chad and Jason. First time in actually seeing you guys live. I mean, we're on two different countries, but hey, it's great to connect. Like actually, you have a conversation live. Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's for those watching. We've kind of. I mean, Kris and I have went back and forth for years, just
Yeah,
cheering each other on, kind of. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, and just kind of had this social connection, but never really got to have a good conversation. So this is
correct.
gonna be great
Fun.
today. In your journey, man, I'm really excited to break it down because I think there's a lot people, especially right now, can learn from the journey you've been through. I think right now, or at least in my experience, a lot of people are in some hard times, and
Mhm.
it's patterns. And I think recognizing that, like, it's not the other people have been there, other people have maybe even climbed higher mountains, and other hard times have came, and this will pass, like this too shall pass is
Yes.
basically um how I feel. So I guess let's look at, you got a great journey, and I have it, in front of me here. So it's so much to unpack. So I guess let me talk about before real estate. You came from where was it again, to
Like
Canada?
Guyana, South America. So we're the only English-speaking country in South America. We're between Brazil and Venezuela,
Okay.
and created like diversity of Indian, Black, like Chinese, all different culture, like 6 nations there. Yeah.
Okay, so the future culture, right? The melting pot. I like it. I like it. So okay, so tell me what brings you to Canada? How does that happen?
So I mean, this wasn't even on our radar. I was 17, and then my dad went to visit his brother-in-law, which is my aunt's husband. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to Canada," and he's like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, you should come." And my dad's like, "I don't know. I don't have no money to even travel to get a ticket." And he looked at my mom, and mom's like, "I have no money. You want to go?" And then he's like, "Sure." Next week, he was on a plane coming to Canada, and that was 1983. So for 4 years, I didn't see my father, but he worked 2 jobs, send money to us for us, and pretty much like we live in maybe a 400 square feet place. We had four of us slept there, 1 bedroom, and we had a kerosene stove. There were outhouse, there were no toilet, running water. Sometimes the water would cut off, so we would have to catch rainwater. One pair of shoes, so I walked bare feet pretty much until I had a pair of shoe for school and maybe one pair of shoe to go out whenever I had to go, like special occasion. Meat and chicken was a rarity. That's like only the rich people have that. No TV, electricity cut off at like 6 p.m. You had to use a kerosene lamp to study. So you're studying and then you have black soot in your nose when you go too close to the lamp, or your hair catch like a singe. So that's what it is. Coming to Canada was like you win the lottery. We had water, electricity, we had a home, we had heat. It was like your own space. You had a TV, which was like only rich people had a TV. So that was just coming here was like itself a dream itself. Yeah.
Culture
Now,
shock, right? So is that what happened to us then? We both got singed by the kerosene.
Probably, man. Probably.
I'll be there soon, don't worry. And once I'll embrace it. I can't wait for that day, because then I don't have to do my hair every morning. Not like
No,
it's my, you know.
it's very convenient.
So, okay, so I guess, like, I want to come back to the journey, but but fast forwarding today, where I mean, you're on you're streaming on a live service, social media. You probably have a lot more things than obviously a lot more things than you did back then, and we know the real estate journey and stuff. But, like, does that give you, you think, I don't know if I want to say more gratitude, but does that give you gratitude for, do you see that you appreciate things more than most people you encounter?
Every day. Every day I get up in the morning. I get up like some morning 4:30. I have a dual career, so I'm a dual career person. And then the days I don't go to that next career, I get up at 5:30, 6:30 in the morning and go for a walk. 2.5 to 3 kilometers every day. Doesn't matter winter, snow, whatever, indoor, outdoor. I do that 3K walk. And yes, to be able to get up and do what you do is something you love. And I pray every morning. I get up and say, "Thank you, God. Thank you for where I am today." Yeah, there are moments where you want more, but I said, look at where you were not too long ago, 2009, to where I am today. And I look back and it's like, hey, you know what? You're so much better off. You should be grateful and happy where you are. And that kind of humbled me, and make me come back to earth and say, you know what? You're great. You have accomplished so much. If I was to die tomorrow, the only sad part would be is my little one probably wouldn't remember me. But other than that, I think I've accomplished what I've wanted to accomplish in life already.
That's amazing. Yeah. No, that's really good. That's really good. So coming to Canada, first of all, did you any hockey? Are you a hockey fan now? No?
Now I'm a Leafs fan, so yeah. Well, unfortunately, we lost, but hockey's like one of my favorite sport. Number two, the first sport my favorite is cricket. That's what we grew up with.
Okay.
So in my blood, it's always been cricket. Yeah.
Cricket. Okay. That's interesting. I played hockey growing up, so of course, anytime I think Canada, I want to talk about hockey. So, in
Who's
your Windsor, Essex
gonna win the
counties,
cup?
right?
Yeah,
So that's Windsor. That's like right by Detroit, right?
correct. Yeah, right across the river. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a Detroit Red Wings fan for probably 15, 20 years. So never went over to Windsor. But so do you go to Detroit at all, or
Sometimes, rarely, when we need to go shopping, or if any restaurant. Like the last time we were there, we went to Sterling Heights for my daughter. She wanted to go to the aquarium, and we stayed over there at the Great Lakes Crossing. So it was kind of nice. So that's the best, like the good thing living close to the border. You have the best of both worlds. Only thing we have to come back. We can't go to Florida and live in the warm sunshine. Yeah,
it's hot here now? I'll tell you
yeah.
that.
I'll take the heat over the cold any day. So yeah.
Absolutely.
I understand. So now I guess I'm zooming because I want to come back to your journey, but at first I want to stay where we're at. So do you experience a lot of international moves being that close to the line with
Not really. Most of them coming from GTA, which is the Toronto out of province, or like maybe 3 hours away.
okay.
So that seemed to be the most of my clientele that come from out of town, and it's mostly diversity, like a lot of color people that gravitate towards me because I have a big social media presence online. So you go to YouTube, you'll find me. I mean, I only do market updates, listing video, and things like that, and community tours, but my phone ring, I answer it. So, and I'm always trying to be truthful to people. I always say, hey, your money is my money because I'm only gonna buy a home at a price where I feel I would pay for it, and if I would live in that house in that neighborhood. If I can't see myself there with my kids, it ain't gonna happen. But ultimately, you said, hey, I want the house, I'll do it for you, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
I always say
You-
the same thing. I always tell my clients, I say, hey, look, if I wouldn't sell this house to my mom, I'm not selling it to you.
and
So
that's a good way to live by, right? I mean,
yeah,
because at the end of the night, you know, you could go to bed and
yeah,
sleep peacefully and don't have to think about, hey, I'm doing a disservice to these people because I'm looking at that dollar bill, right? Yeah.
I sleep like a baby because I know, I have their best interest in mind, and there is no doubt about it that,
Awesome.
everything will be up and up. So no,
Well, I'm
awesome.
going to hit on that one because I totally agree and I feel the same way. But what happens when you get the buyer that likes something that you don't like?
Well, I tell them, hey, you know what? I'm just telling you this is the negative part of it. Ultimately, you make that choice, but remember, I told you so. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I've been there, and because they get fixated on things that they think that matter that don't as much as in certain houses. Yeah, it's tough because you know you want them to be happy too. So
of
it's like,
course.
but you don't want them to. I mean, homes over time appreciate generally,
Mhm.
historically speaking. So it's not like anybody's going to get overly burned, most likely, if they're of a mid to long term. But it is tough when they buy one. They're after one that doesn't make sense. When the average price per square foot is a certain number and they're above that, clearly, but they love the house because the area, the the pool or whatever.
Mhm.
It's that's a tough line to walk. I mean, it's so, but not that I've never said, oh yeah, buy it when I don't think somebody should,
Of
but
course.
leading with the integrity and honesty is super tough when it seems like they're like you're killing their dreams sometimes on the opposite side of it when they like it but they shouldn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
oh,
always ask them, is this a forever home? Is it going to be a short-term plan? If it's a short-term plan, okay, yes. If it's a forever home, I would say probably not. But I would say if you're gonna sell this home down the road, I don't think you're gonna get back what you bought it for, especially if it's the best home in the most crappy neighborhood. You can't change the location, right? So yeah.
There you go. Make them aware of it.
I'm a dream killer. I'll just tell them straight up. I'll be like, look at, you're gonna outgrow this house in like 2 years. Like, you know what I mean? Like, depending on like their family dynamic and stuff, I'm like, look at, this is gonna be way too tight for you. I'm like, there's no way we're buying this house. Like, we're out of here. And sometimes they're like, oh, well, I appreciate that you have my best interest in mind and all that kind of stuff. And then they kind of get on board where I'm not trying to sell them something. I'm just trying to help them. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's like, man, the kids, you don't have enough bedrooms for all the kids you got. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard part of our job is, it's really kind of accountability in a way, like, like keeping them accountable to the fact that they need to be planning for their family. And they might have said that up front, right? Or the resale value is important, but yet it's not going to exist in this home. We have to, rear that up and be the dream killer, as you said. And obviously any real estate agents we coach, that's a huge part of it, is that you have to, well, yeah, you want this job that pays, but it requires you to do the work you don't want to do. Just, so talk to me though, social media, YouTube, I see your market updates. I see you as the guide for the area because you're constantly, giving the data, giving the news. What's your experience like with how long that took to build? Did it happen quickly? Was it 6 months?
I think about a couple of years. Like my first 2 years, I coasted. I didn't know anything. Right on my first offer, like 10 o'clock in the night, I'm trying to find support to help me guide me through like how to do the offer correctly, to review it. Cricket. So I took out our original offer before I was an agent when we bought our house. I look at it and I kind of like duplicate that. And then the next agent was kind enough to point out whatever needed corrected. And it worked. And this was an online lead. I got my license April 2017, 2017 May. A month later, I have my first deal on the contract. But I tell everybody now, if you are going and at a brokerage, make sure you have somebody there for you when you need them on speed dial. Make sure you have support and training and mentorship, because the financial part means nothing if you don't do your job correctly. If you do everything the right way and you have all the above what I just mentioned, I think you're gonna hit the ground running. And that's why I tell people, you're a new agent and you want to learn quickly, join a good team. A team has support, training, mentorship. Yeah, you're gonna take 50% of your split. You know what? Who cares? You don't have to do nothing but show up and learn.
Right. And well, obviously there's a huge side of what the costs are too, when it depends on the team, because we know, as we know, there's so many different teams. But is there an admin? Are they paying for any lead generation? Is there systems and processes they're paying monthly for? People, team leaders don't always, they think they get that 50, right? But when you break down after their expenses, their profit margins are 15 to 25% on average.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
You and I know that because we're in some rooms that have high operator, but they know the margin like inside out. And that's what I noticed. A lot of brokerage or a lot of leaders, they don't have no idea what their net is at the end of the year. Like they're just saying, oh yeah, I made like $500,000 in GCI. What is your net take home? I don't know. Or they don't want to tell you because the number flaked, right? So
right. And here's the thing, like team leaders out there, like be transparent with it. I know, like, we're on a bit of a rebuild with my team personally. And, everybody I interview with, I show them the exact model. I show, it's a 50-50 split. We spend this in marketing, this and, overhead. Like I show them, I said, this is my net profit. This is what I'm aiming for. This is what it is with this amount of agents. This is like, I show them. And Jason tells me.
That's good because not a lot of people do that, right? It's all like secret and smoke and mirrors. But if you have that transparency, like, holy shit, this guy spent a lot of money on his like team. So it's not like you come in here and he's taking 50% of every dollar. But at the end of the day, I'm only getting like a 10 15%. Like, I'm keeping. So, hey, you know what? He does all the work. I just got to do my thing. That's how I see it. Yeah.
Well, and then aside from that too, the other thing I want to hit on, so aside from teams, you talk about, like, joining brokerages and the support. And for those that don't know or haven't followed on any of us, we are at different brokerages here. We're at Jason and I are at EXP and Kris is at Real. And I think they're both great models, but I think at EXP you didn't have the experience we had. And so I think, like, and I think is what you look at, like, say Keller Williams even, right? Like there's certain market centers where people crush it and there's certain market centers where, they don't. So like, just the name of just because somebody else has succeeded there doesn't necessarily mean you won't if you're not surrounding yourself with the right people there.
Correct. 100%.
But now am I correct to say that you didn't find that experience as much at EXP, but you did find your tribe at Real? Is that right?
That's correct, because what happened is, like I said, I got recruited at EXP by a recruiter. He didn't sell any home. He lived in Israel. He was a US resident. So I had to teach him what I was doing and like show him how I do my marketing, all my lead gen. So at the time, he didn't really offer any value. Now looking back, if I could change things, I probably would have gone with somebody who could give me that. Like a lot of people that I look up to in the industry is at EXP, at a Rail. But the thing is, when I moved to Rail, they moved to EXP. So if they were there initially, I think I would have partnered with one of those people locally in our area, like Ibrahim Hussein. Like that guy's a monster. That's a monster. So that's a guy like 2 hours away from me. And I look up to him because he's a great guy. He's in that room that you're in, Chad. You happen to be in some of those rooms. I'm in those rooms virtually because I can't get there. So, but
get there.
Yeah, I'll get there one day. But like the mindset is different when you're around a certain group of people. And I think like they always said, don't be the smartest person in the room, be the dumbest, and you'll learn from the smartest. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interviewing a lot of new agents recently, and I'm hearing the brokerage talk. So what would you say as a newer agent? I know we're stepping back for you. I know your experience now, but what are the warning signs, or how do you get duped, right? Like think about it. Not just EXP, all of them. Like there's the recruiters out there that just blow the fluff, and then you get in and they don't do anything. It was all pitch and no substance, right? How do you have that detector up?
I think talk to people, look up people, research people, say who's doing what, see who's been producing, who's in which group, message a couple of them and see who respond to you the way that you feel like you would respond. Because sometimes people kind of fluff you off. I've spoken to some really big influencer at EXP, and the conversation was like, damn, this person it's all business, all about money. There's no personality. I'm like, do I want to partner with that? I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I want somebody's like, hey man, how can I help you? Not about me. How can I help you? What are you looking for? What are you missing in your business? I think that's what it comes down to. How can I help Chad? How can I help Jason? Not about me. Hey, I could do this. I could do that. That's the wrong way to do it. On the splits, don't order splits. You want training, support, and you want somebody to teach you what they have accomplished, what you want to accomplish, and be there for you when you need them.
And this is good because I think I know where I'm going with this. But I think sometimes people have to go through pain to learn.
Some people don't learn though.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Because the lesson's happening, I posted about this recently, right? It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And that's that makes sense, but most people can't truly understand that. And even I struggle with it. I always think, the market, but it's happening for me because it's helping me plug up the holes in my ship. When you think that way, you win. But that said, the people that are in the middle, right, where they screw up and they have the pain, and then they learn. They sometimes have to have that pain. I've had to have pain in certain areas before I made changes. So some of them, I think, just have to get in and experience the fact that they're being, they're being fluffed, and have the pain to be willing to make the change, And so to come back to your journey, you've had some pain. You've had a lot of pain.
A lot of pain, man. A lot of pain. I know I'm still here standing and talk and sitting and talking to you and smiling. Like some people who have gone through what I've gone through, like probably would have jumped off the bridge or put a gun to their head and just pull the trigger, but no.
And for people listening, you guys, we're back. The move to Canada, was that in '83? You said, or that was when your dad?
83, and I came 87. I was 17 when I came.
And we're talking years before. We haven't even discovered real estate until 2016
in the gym. Yeah, in the gym.
And you said, and we can come into some of it, but you were in the red for most of your life prior.
Oh yeah, like the negative. My account, my paycheck comes in, and it goes back to positive, and by the time I pay my bills, I'm negative. But my brother was there for me. I took a risk. I took a chance that I knew to get where I wanted to go. I had to take that small sacrifice, and if I didn't take that risk, I would not be where I am today with support of my ex, our family, my brothers, my friends. There were people who were there for me and are still there for me. I would never forget where we come from. So I always tell my daughters, do not forget where we come from. Do not forget the people that were there for us. And I always try to remember those people.
And that's what I mean. Extrapolate this out like this, or I talk about the dates because people need to realize, like, there's people in pain right now, but like, how long you been in pain? 6 months, a year, even 5. That you've had a lot of pain over probably 10, 20, 30, years, varying. I'm sure it wasn't just straight like, oh, Kris is dealing with pain every day, like,
No,
but
I think for 2 years, there was a lot of pain. I mean, to go back in retrospect, so 03 moved to Windsor. I was at FedEx beforehand. I think I didn't want to get into trucking. My ex wanted to get into trucking. I went into trucking. I got like 3 trucks, and then driver quit. Bills not being paid on time. Truck crash. 5 months, everything folded, and then my dad died in '07. This happened between '05 and '09. My dad died in '07 October. Then the next year, Christmas Eve, my mom died. Um, 2008 December 24th. Then April 1st, 2009, lost my job. Then May 2008, my ex said, "Hey, I'm out." Or 2009, I'm not happy. I'm like, okay, so here I am. Job, parents, relationship. All I got was my 2 daughters with me. Over 126 in collections. So sold a matrimonial home. My 20,000 from collection was held. So I took it to the bank. So here's my 20,000 in collections. So during the next year, I think and a half, I called everybody and said, "Hey, this is what I have. Take it or leave it." God was probably looking on me. So everybody took everything, settled it. I got all my credit cleanup from a 495 credit score to I think low sixes. But I had RSP and I had some money saved, lived with my brother for almost a year. And then I went to get a home. And the guy's like, "Nope, can't get it." And then somehow I keep bugging, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I got you pre-approved for 230,000." I bought a home for 197. Town home, and that was 2011. Um, 2009, I got a job at where I'm at right now at the university. Amazing pension, benefits, work 3 on 3 off. Kids get free education. My family get free education, university education. So that helped me where I am today because if I didn't have that flexibility, I would be able to do what I'm doing now. So grateful for that. And then 2011 bought my home. And my brother was my bank after that. Whenever I needed grocery, he would buy my grocery, help with my kids. Everybody pitched in here and there, but a lot of overtime, a lot of night shift, so I could get where I am today. And then 2012, I met my current wife. 2016, married. 17, we have our little one here. 18, and then here we are. Yeah.
Nice. So, do you think, like you said, and this is good because real estate, the financial side of things, there's a lot of agents that could be operating in the red, like you said. Did you kind of have a plan? Like it sounds like you did a little bit of a Dave Ramsey type of thing, maybe for like getting yourself out of like the predicament that you were in, or any kind of advice for somebody that's struggling financially of like where to start.
So my plan was I didn't have real estate prior to cleaning up everything. So I saved all my money and called all my creditors like, "Hey, I know I owe you some money. You haven't heard from me for like 5 years. Um, I have some money now. Can you tell me what will you settle my account for?" So I got everything settled from 126 to about 40 to 50K, right?
wow.
So, and then that happened. Took a 30% car loan because I knew for me to get a car back, I had to take to build my credit up. 30% interest, 30, now 13,
Oof. Oof.
right? So these are the things that people doesn't see or know about that happen. And then a Capital One credit card at a $500 limit. But I built myself back up to where I am today. Is like it's real estate came at 17. I was at the gym in 2016. My friends like, "Hey, I'm gonna go become a realtor." I'm like, "Oh, interesting." It's like, you know what? I'm gonna go home and sign up. And then he signed up. He didn't sign up. I signed up. And then I owe my life to him. I owe my life to him. I said, "Bro, you changed my life just by having that one conversation at the gym." I took action, and real estate opened doors for me that I never thought could open. Like anything I want, I feel like I could buy, like I could go and now, like live the life I want without thinking twice. They open doors where I could go on a vacation and say, oh my God, I don't have any money. I got to save the money. It's there, but it doesn't come easy. There's sacrifices. There's times I don't see my daughter. She's in bed. I'm out doing listing appointments, showing homes. But I try to make it a point. Now I'm where I am now, between 7 and 9. You're not gonna get me every evening, because my wife and I put her to bed together, and as a family, that's our time with her. But
Love
yeah,
it.
real estate, it's good if you budget yourself accordingly. You got to learn a lot and put yourself out there, because if you don't put yourself out there, you're going to be a secret agent. Nobody wants a secret agent.
Well, I think let's touch on that, because you do have a good social media brand. You are getting yourself out there. I talk a lot to my agents about don't be a secret agent as well, and kind of getting yourself out there, getting on video. What would you say, like, for somebody that's newer, just trying to get started, like kind of some tips and tricks to kind of get themselves out there and get themselves known?
You don't have to do anything fancy. You go to a restaurant, you do a video on the outside. Hey, guys, today we're going to go check out this restaurant. You take some pictures of the restaurant, some of the food. Hey, we went there today. The service was good. The food was good. You go to CapCut, cut out all the stuff. You post it on social media. It costs you what? Nothing. Nothing. It's easy. And I mean, in the world we live in, you tag the restaurant and it's free too. You're building that restaurant. You're like, oh, Chris went there. You probably like it. Let's go check it out. And a lot of my clients said, hey, we're looking for where you went the last time to eat. How do you like it? So, yeah, it's
That's how you know.
easy.
That's how you know it works, right? When you're
Yeah.
getting people asking you questions.
Yeah. Turn the camera on, look into the camera, and talk to one person. Don't talk to everybody. You just want to talk to, hey, I'm talking to Chad. I'm talking to Jason. Hey, Jason, today we went to this restaurant. It was awesome. I think you should check it out. Here's what we had. Let me know in the comments if I've been there before. Blah. Done. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Do it.
Easy. I was just telling the team that yesterday in our team meeting, like, same exact thing. Go to your favorite restaurant. They were like, well, what about dropping business cards off? I'm like, why don't you offer something of value first? I said, why don't you say, hey, look, would you mind if I did a nice little, FaceTime reel or whatever on your property? I really enjoy ABC from it. Would you mind? They're always going to say, yeah, they want the extra promotion and advertisement. And then, afterwards, if you want to say, hey, do you mind if I leave some cards on the desk if anybody, needs an agent or whatever, then kind of go from there. But start by giving instead of just taking.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what you give without asking, that people appreciate you more. Instead of you asking, like, okay, he's doing a video because you have ulterior motives. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. That's hard for people to really do. I've noticed, like, it when they and even for myself, I mean, like, because we got to pay the bills, so it's hard to forget. But what's funny is when you truly EXP, not just the company, but like being around people and seeing it live in action, like this collaborative mindset, especially compared to old brick and mortar brokerages where, you had your competition was all coming in there and you had no vested interest. This the model, didn't encourage collaboration, at least at a local.
There. That's still there. The brick mortgage, it's still there. Yeah.
It is absolutely. But I think
covering your papers up so nobody steals your
yeah, go hide in a room so they can't hear your magic script, but you're just doing the work that they will do. But all that said, I learned from seeing how much like how much not having an agenda gives you back. Like it, and I think, like, for me personally, I was the same. Like, I would only do what benefited me. But then once I saw how when you drop the agenda, you actually get back not only more, but you also get back what you want. You get your tribe, like, because I was like probably salesman mentality when I got into it. Like, I'll just sell everybody, right?
Mhm.
And then as I grew as a human and watched other people, it's like, well, you learn, and you hear it all the time, but like everybody, if anybody watching this, listen to this, like, think about truly dropping your agenda in every conversation, in every meeting, every time, like dropping it and just actually come into play with as much value as you can to the dad you're talking to at a kid's birthday party, to the session like this that you're doing, like just it's such a simple thing, but check yourself daily, and I bet most of you are not coming with straight no agenda every time you come into the conversation. That's my, but yeah. So I just, it was a personal journey for me. And you seem to have gotten that, which leads me to what I really wanted to ask you. So we had all this pain. You found real estate. It opened doors, never thought possible. Me as well. I understand that. What do you think was the one thing that changed in you personally that not just made real estate, but like made things work over the last 5 or so years versus the prior, right?
YouTube.
YouTube. I love it.
YouTube and Facebook go on Instagram, because what I try to do is I look at major successful agents, marketers, and I see what they're doing and take a little bit from them and I put it into my basket, you know. And I think I don't watch TV, so you won't catch me watching a sport game. I'd rather be on YouTube learning something. So that's my hobby, podcast, YouTube, and watching like the big agents doing stuff. Like you have like the John Chaplack group. I watch these guys. I friend some of them, and I shot at them wherever they're doing. And yeah, those are the people you want to surround yourself with, because they've done it. They're doing it every day, and you know what I'm talking about. If you surround yourself with people, and these guys that like to give back because they're successful, they have nothing to lose. They've done the work, and I could show both of you what I do. Or many times, agents like, "What do you do? Here's my playbook. Take it." They're not going to do the
You
work.
did years ago for me.
They're not going to do the work because
You're
they're
right.
lazy, right? Yeah.
Once
they're
they
not
realize
hungry.
how hard it is, right? It's
Yeah.
but so like I said, you said Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. A lot of people don't realize that you could just repurpose the same content you shoot once and then just push it out to multiple platforms and kind of systematize it. You want to talk a little bit about how you kind of like set your day up for success with your videos, and how you kind of structure your marketing content.
So every Friday when the MLS closes, I go and pull up all the data. And then I will get all my data. It's like a template. It's like you do the same thing, but the data is new. And then I will share personal stories that I'm having and seeing in the market with my clients. So that way it's relative, because the data doesn't mean nothing if I can't explain to you what we're seeing in our market as a buyer seller, and then I will give you my tips how to maximize it. Friday, I plan everything. Saturday, I shoot it. Then I edit it myself, and then I send it to my editor to do the YouTube landscape video with all the graphics popping up. For social media, I use the app Captions, or sorry, CapCut, and I do it myself. I add all the logo and everything. It takes me maybe an hour or so to do everything. But once I do that, Sunday, my email goes out to my database. I put all my video on all platforms: LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, 5 platform. Okay. I used to do it on Pinterest too. 36,000 people see me every month organically without paying anything. And then when I have a listing video, I pay to play. My market update every monthly one, I pay to play. So I'm out there. So at the end of the year, 36,000 times 12, I don't miss anything. You figure, it costs you nothing.
And I think, like, I was gonna say real quick on that, like, how many people don't want to, are afraid to be on camera? Like, I always joke around, I have a face for radio, right? But it's like some people just get nervous about being on camera and talking to people, but you don't realize how many people are watching you that just might not comment or whatever, but they feel like you're building up that relationship with them. And like you said, 36,000 people, but how many hours and hours and hours of watch time do you have that, while you're sleeping, you're working?
Exactly. And most of my, like lately, all of my deals are coming in inbound call or text or email. Hey, I don't cold call. That's my next thing I got to start doing. I'm starting to do some lead gen where the lead comes in and I call. So I'm starting to do that. Now, if I do that consistently, like 5 touches a day, I think my business will like 5 times. But everything's coming inbound. Like, hey, Kris, I've been following you for a while. I watched your video. I would like to sell my house. Or, hey, the last deal I did was a YouTube lead came in at 20,000 check. I've been watching your video. I want you to help me buy a home. Cost me what? Nothing.
Well, and I think so. I mean, both work. They're you talk about like cold call or even just working the leads, right? That come in, like they both, and then YouTube and all that. I get so frustrated. I talked to an agent the other day, and their broker told them not to cold call, and I'm like, and she liked cold calling. I'm like, if you like cold calling, which
Do that.
that's rare,
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
Everything works, but one thing I would say is like if you're dabbling into that and you're doing YouTube, I think you can make things really work hand in hand. Like, if you have the videos already recorded and you're calling some of the leads that are coming in and you recycle some of those leads, as whether it's, manually, hey, did you check out this valuable video I posted this week? Or even like, we did with our clients, we put them on an automated explanation list. So what we do, because like we tell them, it's like the initial drip email says, hey, just to let you know, we put you on our automated explainer list, so they know
Mhm.
that, it's not me just like faking, the
Sure.
automation
Yeah.
thing. And we send, this is how inspections, this is how appraisal. And I literally just got an email yesterday from somebody who replied and said, thank you, this was super helpful. So you can make those strategies go hand in
Right.
hand when you do the work, right? Like when you're reaching out to the leads, when you've recorded the videos, but you can't do it when you're just trying to log into a CRM and like duplicate the drip campaign that'll do the work for you. That doesn't work. But so to that point, are you combining efforts at all whenever you look at different strategies?
I gotta start doing that call, which I'm starting to do my calls now. So I think we'll see some different leads coming in via that way. Um, Basically, video and email marketing has been my biggest ROI.
Right.
That's has worked for me. I've stuck with it for the last 3 years consistently. I haven't really missed any time. Even when I'm on vacation, I still do my market update. It's not perfect. You would see a palm tree behind me. I was in Florida not too long ago, and I did it. I was in California. I did it because it's something I think most of my clients look forward to and something I enjoy doing. It's not work for me. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now, I asked you what changed, and you said YouTube. But what, and which that's clear. But what did anything change in you
Yeah.
personally? Like,
Yeah.
was there a
Wanting
personal
more, wanting
what
more, wanted
wanting
to
more?
learn more, wanted to become better. Because I find a lot of people, you sit there and you think you know it all, but in today's age, I think you have to adapt with the platform, adapt with technology, adapt to see what's working out there. And I feel that there was things lacking in my business or lacking in me as a person. And by watching and learning and giving back, and I give now if everybody wants something, I give. I don't want nothing in return. Here you go, thank you. But wanting to learn more and wanting to better myself as a person in all aspect, physically, mentally, emotionally, and be a better person for my family. And I think once you're happy inside, it doesn't matter what car you drive, it doesn't matter what big mansion you own. If you're not happy inside, you're gonna be miserable in all aspect, and it shows outside.
Amen. Amen. So wanting to learn more and admitting that you don't know everything, it's like almost, especially when you get success, it almost gets harder and harder because you have some proof that you knew something, not
Mhm,
everything,
mhm.
something.
Yeah, I know everything.
But you start to believe in that story. I know for me personally, we had that past success. You start to just, whoa, I did it. You did it then, but you don't know now. You don't know how to do it now. You don't know how to do it a different way. You don't know how to do it at a different level, and you don't know how to, impact more. You don't know how to do it in different industries and different markets. There's a lot you don't know, and I had to learn that. So that's super helpful to hear. Like that was so that's what led you to being. Would that be fair to say that's what led you to being open to the real estate opportunity and open to the YouTube opportunity?
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of agents, not some agents, not a lot of agents, that's doing it. And I figure, like Jason said, I'm sleeping. My video is working. I
Yeah.
just take the time, record it, edit, put it out there. And it's something I enjoy doing. I feel like I'm an actor when I get behind the camera. So, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's showtime, baby. Let's get this going. Yeah, and my
Shameless.
videographer, like in my listing video, my videographer, he's like, he brings out the best in me. He's my friend. We started together, and he know how to push my button, and I like that. So yeah, I think by being consistent and being patient and committed, if you keep doing the same thing consistently without giving up on expecting instant gratification, I think you'll be fine. But a lot of us want to hit that easy and instant button. It doesn't happen in this business.
You mean I don't make 2 YouTube videos and get a $20,000 check, man? I thought that's how it works.
Yeah, 300 something video later.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Jason and I preach every day here. 100%, man. So where are you going? What's on the horizon? What's the mission?
The mission ultimately is I'm thinking focus on one goal in a couple of years, which is real estate. Build myself attract maybe 25, 30 agents. And I gotta pick your brain about your team, because that's something eventually I would like to do, because I know I have what it takes, but I don't really want to responsibly right now. But I could pretty much train them and teach them everything I've done, because they don't have to reinvent the wheel on anything from being an immigrant. As long as you're hungry and as long as you're consistent and you do the work, if I did it, you could do it. And in today's society or industry, I think making six figure is, you sell like 8, 9 homes and you make six figure. Six figure is like, that should be the entry level for you, your goal to start with, I think.
It depends on the market.
Yeah, market. I'm like 6,000 figures. Some of that. Yeah, so like 25 homes for that.
What's your average price in your market?
200K.
How about yourself, Chad?
Well, so the old market, well, that's what it was. But in Florida, I mean, yeah, it's probably 500 here.
Okay. And you guys got 3% or 2.5%?
In Florida, 2.5 typically, and typically we're not setting rates. I'm not just.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, same thing here too. I don't look at the rates. I look at the house and the price, and hey, let's go get it. The rates.
Well, I'm saying for compliance purposes.
I know.
Everybody's gonna get me on this video. I don't know. But we did see there's tip and I think when you look at sales prices, that's, I mean, in Pennsylvania we probably average more around a 3%, and in here we average more around a 2.5 or so. 2.4 I think would be the number that I've seen on average. So but that's sales prices, right? You figure average sales prices up there is around the 2s, and down here is in the 5 or so. So that makes sense that it's a little bit less. And
where you at, Jason?
What's that?
Where's Jason at?
I'm up in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, that's why everybody wants to come and invest here with me.
Hence the Pennsylvania and Florida connection.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I'm thinking, how the heck do you be in Florida and Pennsylvania? Like was Chad, yeah.
Well, it's a weird connection because I'm on the other side of Pennsylvania, but Jason, well, I had somebody join me because so he left the XP. I saw he had played hockey like on his profile picture. So I just stayed connected with him just like as a person. Well, I ended up attracting him back. Like I told him not to rejoin under me. You can join under anybody else, they'll help you, but he did. And then he had Jason. So it's like, it was EXP that connected us, hockey that held us, that little tether together, and then that led me to this connection with Jason, to be transparent. So like it's weird because we're both from Pennsylvania, but we did not meet by any physical means.
Oh, okay. So you guys haven't met in person yet?
Oh yeah.
No. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we're about when he was in Pennsylvania, it was about 4.5 hour drive away from each other.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you're in the mountains, right? Scranton is in the mountains, right?
Yep, a little bit up here in northeast Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I used to drive truck. I vaguely remember Scranton. Yeah. It's not fun to drive in the wintertime.
No, it's not fun to be here. I don't know. What am I doing with myself? I got to be where you guys are. You guys got these awesome places.
Hey, nobody's stopping you. You could go to Florida, man. If I was in the U.S., I'd be in Florida in a heartbeat.
I tried
or California.
I could have been single in Miami or married in Pennsylvania. I chose marriage in Pennsylvania. But I tried to go down to Florida. My wife kind of.
Oh man!
I hope she's not watching this. She's gonna kill me. But
she's not done yet. You got to bring her down here. Have her come visit.
Baby steps. I'm working on it. For sure. I got to tell her, hey, look at these 500,000 houses. I sell 100 of those a year. Then you'll be sitting pretty, baby.
That's good. That's good. Well, so I think this has been really good. I mean, I guess, okay, so your goal, to come back to it though, your mission is to help agents. Why help 25, 30 agents do what you did?
I mean, I would like to help more without I want to do like a Ricky Carute. Hey, this is my playbook. Take it. I'll teach you guys without any expectations, because I feel agents in today's world or like market, they have many of them don't have any idea what they're doing. Get a coach, join a good team. That's probably what I would recommend to start with. And if you're on your own, then reach out to an agent who's willing to work and share stuff with you without any expectations. And that's what I do. I would say, hey, here you go, take this, run with it. Have any question, I'm more than happy to help you. And
You
that's
don't want
what
them
I do.
to feel like you did. That's what, right? You didn't, when that feeling of where you had the contract and you didn't know what to, like, that's what you want to help, right?
Yeah.
Makes
I think
total
it comes back for everybody, right? Like kind of when I got started, I think we got like an hour of buyer training and an hour of seller training. It's like, okay, figure it out. And it's like, ugh.
You got training? Wow.
Yeah. At the end of the day, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, not too bad, right?
And I think a lot of people, they're like in our world where we're virtual, like yourself. A lot of people are still stuck on this brick and mortar, and sometimes it's good if you want to be in an office environment. For me, I was there, and I didn't really feel. I was at 4 places before I found Rail. So, and I find I didn't really need an office. I don't need an office because nothing in those office beside the camaraderie and the family, the feeling of family belonging is more that I learn everything and I teach everything myself. Nobody's like, hey, Kris, here's what I'm doing. You want to come see what I'm doing? I'll teach you or mentor you. Nobody does that. Everybody is all for themselves. It's all like a crabs in the barrel, like climbing on top of each other, trying to get out of that barrel. And that's not me. Me is like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's a guy who can help you with your lead generation. I've done that in the past, and I thought I was going to be part of that group. I got cut out, and I'm like, oh, really? Wow! I show you everything. I show you who to connect with, and then, oh no, me and my buddy's going to do it together. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I know if you were my friend or not. I know where we stand, and that was pretty much the pivoting point where it's like, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to join Rail. I was sitting on the fence, but yeah, and it's a good decision. Like I said to anybody, make sure you partner with the right people. That's going to be there for you no matter what, and train you, support you, mentorship. The splits and everything else is just gravy and the bonuses. But it comes down to being around the right people. That's what it matters too, based upon 5 brokerages later. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you say that about the office, because I'm always going back and forth on it. And me and Chad are always talking about it too. So, I kind of wanted to buy an office. I've been investing in real estate for a while. And, the office for me was somewhere where I could go and work. And if I have to bring in clients, it's a little bit more professional than meeting at like a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks or whatever. So, I wanted the office for that. And as I built up the team, somewhere where we could go and do our trainings and all that kind of stuff. And if they wanted to bring clients in, somewhere they'd be happy with. But, a lot of the dynamic of office that I don't like that I'm seeing is like, kind of the water cooler chat.
Mm.
You know what I mean? People go and then just come in and just want to BS and stuff instead of getting work done. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, there's a time, place. I want to hang out and, be your friend, but, I'm here to work, that kind of thing.
No, it's why. So when I had mine, that was my issue. Every time I like to talk. If you can't tell, we do an hour podcast every week, and I like to talk.
Supposed to be a half hour.
It helps the algorithm, by the way.
But I'd go in, and every time I wouldn't get work done when I'd go in there. So I got the office for the people that said they wanted it that didn't go, but I had to avoid going because I would not get anything done when I'd go, So I'm not saying there's not a place for it. Closings, it's good for certain trainings. I feel like a hybrid, like a hub is a good thing,
Yes.
But is it necessary? Is it as necessary as the old guard made it out to be in real estate? Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
So I have a question for both of you. So both you have an office?
Not anymore. I don't. Jason
okay.
does.
So like, how big is your office and how many team members you have?
So we have 8 team members plus a transaction coordinator, a social media person that's virtual, and a full-time admin.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. That's good. And you provide leads and everything and train and support them?
Yep.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah. But like I said, I went through like team version 1.0, 2.0. I'm on 3 or 4.0 now. And, kind of at first it was kind of like I got so busy as an agent, here, take these leads and run with it. So kind of the team kind of, started organically, if you will. And then, as more people were getting their license and kind of wanting to, join up, we kind of made it a little bit more formal. And now it's like, I'm with, like Chet Black's group now with the coaching and all that kind of stuff.
KFC.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
You know what I mean? You know what?
Yeah.
KFR. Yes, KFR. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. So I got my metrics, like you said, cold calling every day and doing my recruiting calls to kind of build this up. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Funny, I have that course too, but I haven't really got to the point of dropping any bombs, doing open house visits yet, because I don't really have an office. So what do I offer you? You know what I mean? What do I offer somebody when it's like, hey? So I try to bring awareness who we are as a company. And then when I do that, that's why sometimes people doesn't like when I share stuff. I don't share a lot. When there's a big news, I would drop it. Other than that, before, like, I don't see chat share anything like that. Normally, I don't know if you used to do before, but now I stop. I'm very strategic with when I share it.
Well, my experience too is when I had success attracting an agent at EXP, it was not from, like, Brittany, my wife, told me the other day, because I shared EXP's rev share changes, which were, obviously definitely for the pressure that Real LPT you're putting on. I love it. It's good. You guys help me out.
That's all right. Competition is always good. It's healthy.
Yeah,
100%. But when I shared that, it's like nobody knows what the hell that means. Like, my point is like all the real or EXP stock and blah, blah, all this, or the commissions, but nobody, like, the only reason I attract any agents is because of me, my vibe, my mentorship, the stuff I've been through, and like and that's the thing. It's one of those things. So it's like you understand that, and I understood that for years, but I'd still like share the EXP posts or share the model, and it's like it's hard to understand the simple. It's human psychology. Like it's human behavior. Like you have to understand. You have to, as Chet Black will say too, you have to be obsessed with understanding human behavior.
Yeah.
When you understand human behavior, it's not that you manipulate it. You just understand how not to battle uphill, not to battle against the current. You go with the current. It makes life a lot easier. So posting things that they want to hear rather than what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chad goes deep into the weeds. I'm like, Chad, man, you gotta take a step back. He's like numbers and pie charts and
hey, he speak the truth. At the end of the day, I mean, I wish I could speak the truth sometime, but especially in our market, but I can, because my wife's like, nope, you're not gonna say that. I'm like, crap.
I struggle with that. I think you got to. I think you got to share. It's got to be like you talk about people that they don't want to get on these cameras. You know me, man. It's because they're wearing the mask. It's heavier. Yeah. I'm on this camera right now, and it's a lot. We're nobody's perfect at stripping the mask away entirely. Yeah. But I can tell you, it's a lot lighter for me being on camera right now, because I have stripped this mask back very, very far over the years, where this is almost exactly what you would get. I say almost because I know nobody's perfect. And I think when you wear the mask, it makes the videos heavier. It makes the job heavier.
100%. Yeah.
Stay in authenticity. Stay there. So tell her I said that.
Well, to touch on that too, I have conversations with, agents that are coming in here, and I'm like, hey, I'm like Popeye. What you see is what you get. I am what I am, So I'm in shorts and flip-flops and a t-shirt. And, if you want a stuffy environment with people in suits and kind of, that's not my vibe,
Yeah.
I want you to go interview with 4 or 5 other brokers. And if you have a better tribe or whatever you connect with better, if you want to come here, this is my vibe. Like, what you see is what you get. So, I mean, I'd rather be authentic. And, when they come in, they see me like this and they're like, we're in an interview and you're in like a khaki or, cargo shorts and flip-flops. I'm like, this is it, man. And then I show them all the trophies in the background. I'm like, hey, look, we, have fun, but we also put in the work.
Yeah, I think authenticity, you can't go wrong with that. I mean, you make a mistake or something, it is only human being. If everything's polished and looks polished, then people's like, he's all scripted. He's not real. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
People can tell, 100%.
For sure.
Well, I want to respect your time and the people watching. So we'll roll this out here. But Kris, I really, really thank you for not only coming on today, but just the friendship, the back and forth,
I appreciate it.
The cheering, and this is what it should look like. People from different brokerages, they can have conversations and just grow. As human beings. This 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's nobody's done no brokerage, nobody is better than anybody. At the end of the day, we all have a common goal. Our common goal is to live a good life and help our clients. That's what it shit comes down to. Doesn't matter what color you fly. You and me, we have red blood. That's how I look at it. Yeah.
Yep.
Amen.
Awesome.
Well, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
guys for having me, man. I appreciate it too as well. And Jason, nice
Hey,
meeting you.
Kris. Yep. Take care, guys.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see y'all.
Take care.